I guess just first off, how is Caitlin after Wednesday, and do you have any update on her condition?
Yeah, she's okay. She's gonna be out on Saturday, but she's doing all right.
Do you have any indication right now of how long she will be out?
No.
Caitlin Clark just got permanently sidelined, completely benched, and entirely erased from the starting lineup without a single word of warning or a shred of genuine explanation. No flag, no penalty, no accountability. The internet lost its mind today, and rightfully so. We are watching a franchise actively, intentionally, and maliciously sabotage its own generational talent in real time right in front of our eyes. And what did the Indiana Fever front office and the WNBA league officials do about it? They issued a pathetic late-night press release hoping nobody would notice. A weak response, a cowardly statement, weak, whack, absolute garbage. I'm sure Stephanie White will deeply enjoy her little unearned victory lap and her massive power trip, while the arena stands sit completely empty and the franchise absolutely bleeds revenue. Stephanie White is visibly struggling not to smile from ear to ear that Caitlin Clark is out of the picture. She literally cannot contain her excitement on the sidelines, shifting her weight, smirking during the pressers, and looking completely unbothered that the greatest offensive engine in the history of women's college basketball is sitting in street clothes. She is secretly thrilled and ecstatic because she finally gets her locker room back. She gets her little outdated offensive system back. She gets her precious veteran hierarchy back. And she gets to pretend that she is the genius mastermind of this entire operation instead of just being a lucky passenger on the Caitlin Clark hype train. They do not deserve Caitlin Clark in Indiana. They never did. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here completely carrying this franchise on her back, carrying the ticket sales, carrying the merchandise numbers, carrying the entire league's television broadcasting deals, playing through brutal lower body injuries, playing through sheer mental and physical exhaustion, taking absolute cheap shots to the throat and ribs every single night. And the coaching staff just stands there on the sidelines with their hands in their pockets, emboldened by the total silence of the league commissioner. It is a complete and utter charade. The entire infrastructure of this team is a charade designed to milk the fans for every last dollar of ticket revenue, while treating the main attraction like a second-class citizen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Like the video, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Because we are out here in the trenches exposing the truth, while the mainstream sports media plays nice and acts like everything is perfectly fine. The national media is crawling out of the woodwork right now to defend Stephanie White, to defend the incompetent front office, to defend the silent ownership group, and to spin this ridiculous narrative saying, "Oh, it's just a routine rest day. She needs load management. It's a long season." A routine rest day? Are you absolutely kidding me? You don't rest the face of the league on a marquee national television broadcast against a bitter rival without telling the network, the fans, or the media until the absolute last possible second. This is a fundamental, catastrophic breakdown of a professional relationship. Caitlin Clark is done. The body language on the bench last week told you everything you needed to know. The absolute refusal by the coaching staff to call a timeout when she was getting swarmed by 3 defenders in the backcourt. The complete refusal to run actual offensive sets designed for her in clutch time. The constant, draining, passive-aggressive comments in the post-game press conferences where the coach refuses to praise her point guard. Stephanie White desperately wanted to prove to the world that she didn't need the rookie to win basketball games. And now she's emboldened because the front office cowards are letting her run the show and alienate the only reason people care about this team. Now here's where it gets extremely interesting. And you know I brought the receipts to prove it. Look at the official Indiana Fever Twitter account. Let's look at the timestamps together, folks. 72 hours ago, 48 hours ago, 24 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 32 minutes ago. Nothing. Complete, deafening radio silence about the biggest star in the entire world of sports. You ready? Let me read the exact statement they finally managed to squeeze out after fans were already sitting in their expensive seats. Caitlin Clark will be unavailable for tonight's matchup due to unforeseen circumstances regarding team dynamics and necessary load management. A pathetic statement. A disrespectful statement. A cowardly, manipulative piece of corporate jargon. Fans are seeing right through it instantly. You really think we don't see exactly what's going on behind closed doors? You think we don't see the underlying locker room friction, the jealousy from the veterans, the sheer resentment that a rookie is getting all the shoe deals, all the commercials, all the spotlight? You are actively trying to milk the fans for every last single dollar of concession and ticket revenue, letting them buy the parking passes, letting them buy the popcorn, before you drop the bombshell that she is not even suiting up. If I had season tickets to this circus, I'm selling my tickets automatically. I'm canceling my hotel reservations automatically. I seriously can't make this stuff up. People have actual flights. People have literal, non-refundable flights from across the entire country. Families driving 15 hours from Iowa. People flying in from the East Coast, from the West Coast, bringing their little daughters and sons to see number 22 shoot the basketball. Maybe you spend the extra $30 or $40 to get the travel insurance on the flight, so you're not just stuck holding the bag when this absolute poverty franchise decides to pull a fast one on you and steal your hard-earned money. Always get the insurance, folks, especially when dealing with amateur organizations that treat their loyal paying fans like a bottomless ATM machine. You are squeezing out every penny from working-class people who saved up for months just to witness history, and you spit in their faces. It is an absolute charade. Look at the way the Las Vegas Aces handle their business. Look at how the New York Liberty communicate with their massive fan base. The Fever? They purposely wait until you are already physically inside the building, already scanned your ticket, already bought the $150 replica jersey from the team store, and then they drop the news on the Jumbotron like it's a minor lineup tweak. It is entirely calculated. It is premeditated. They knew she wasn't playing yesterday. Stephanie White knew she wasn't playing 3 days ago. They are using Caitlin Clark's name and likeness to pack the arena to the rafters, knowing full well she is going to be sitting in the back row of the bench, wearing street clothes, completely checked out and isolated from this toxic environment. Let's go back to the receipts, because it gets worse. Look at the post-game interview from Tuesday night. Look at the exact phrasing. Stephanie White stood at the podium, looked the reporters dead in the eye and said, "We have to learn to play as a cohesive unit, regardless of who is on the floor. We cannot simply rely on one person's gravity to bail us out." One person's gravity? Are you out of your mind? That gravity is the only reason you currently have a head coaching job on primetime national television right now. That gravity is the only reason your team's games aren't being broadcast on a tape delay on some obscure public access channel at 2 in the morning. A disrespectful comment. An incredibly tone-deaf comment. A wildly arrogant statement. Arrogant. Delusional. I'm sure the front office suits will heavily enjoy their little moral locker room victory while the television ratings absolutely plummet to the floor and the arena turns into a ghost town by next week. The fans aren't stupid. We see the passive-aggressive benchings in the third quarter when she's heating up. We see the substitution rotations that make absolutely zero basketball sense. We see the total refusal by management to sign or enforce any kind of enforcer role player to protect her on the court from physical assault. Caitlin Clark is out there taking flagrant fouls, getting her eyes poked, getting hip-checked into the hardwood, getting absolutely battered by players who are jealous of her unprecedented success. And Stephanie White is just staring blankly into space, holding a clipboard like she's waiting for a bus to arrive. She doesn't have her star players back. And if your head coach refuses to have your back, why in the world would you risk your professional career, your physical health, your knees, your ankles, your future legacy for this ungrateful organization? She is potentially completely done with Indiana. The trade rumors are going to start flying around the internet tomorrow morning, and they will be entirely justified. Mark my words right now. The moment this miserable season wraps up, or maybe even before the trade deadline hits, her agents at Excel Sports Management are going to be making very aggressive phone calls to the league office. You cannot draft a once-in-a-generation talent, throw her into a completely hostile work environment, offer zero protection, allow the coach to undermine her publicly, and then expect her to just smile, wave, and shoot logo threes. This isn't the 1990s anymore. Superstar players have immense power. Superstars have leverage. And Caitlin Clark currently has more leverage and brand value than the entire Indiana Fever organization combined, multiplied by 10. They foolishly thought they could draft her, exploit her for massive profits, and then forcefully put her in her place to maintain the old guard's hierarchy. They actually thought they could humble her. A massive miscalculation. A catastrophic miscalculation. Massive. Goofy. Completely idiotic. They really thought millions of fans wouldn't notice the absolute lack of organizational support. If I had invested in season tickets for this team, I'm calling my ticket rep automatically. I'm loudly demanding a full prorated refund automatically. You don't sell me a brand new Ferrari. Advertise the Ferrari all winter long, and then keep it locked in the garage while making me pay full price to watch a 1998 Honda Civic drive around the track at 20 miles per hour. It makes absolutely zero sense from a business standpoint, a basketball standpoint, or a human standpoint. The WNBA commissioner needs to step in immediately. The league office executives need to step in and audit this franchise. But what are they actually doing? Absolutely nothing. Total silence. Crickets. They are willingly letting one local coach's massive ego potentially ruin the biggest marketing gift this sport has ever received in its entire existence. It is a complete and total failure of leadership on every single conceivable level. The charade is officially over. The curtain has been completely pulled back for the whole world to see. Stephanie White wants to be the biggest star in the building. She desperately wants all the credit for any success. But you can't be the star of the show when you're wearing a team-issued polo shirt pacing on the sidelines. The people pay their hard-earned money to see the logo threes. The people pay to see the elite, no-look transition passing. They do absolutely not pay to see your rigid defensive zone schemes that get completely blown up in the third quarter anyway, because you refuse to adapt to the modern pace and space game. The arrogance to bench the Golden Goose because she doesn't fit into your outdated box is staggering. And let's talk about the hypocrisy of the media covering this entire debacle. If this was any other superstar in any other men's league, if LeBron James was getting benched because the coach wanted to prove a point about team dynamics, if Patrick Mahomes was sidelined because the offensive coordinator wanted to establish the run game, there would be wall-to-wall coverage, people would be getting fired on live television, and the entire front office would be cleaned out by morning. But because it's Caitlin Clark, because the old guard of the WNBA is deeply resentful of her meteoric rise, they are allowing this sabotage to happen in plain sight. They are allowing the Fever to completely fumble the bag. Fans are driving across state lines, spending thousands of dollars on gas, hotels, food, and premium tickets, only to be slapped in the face by a Twitter graphic uploaded 30 minutes before tip-off. It's an embarrassment to professional sports. You have a player who single-handedly elevated the viewership of the entire league by hundreds of %. A player who is selling out opposing arenas. A player who is moving the needle in ways we haven't seen since the prime of Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods. And you treat her like she's a troublesome bench warmer who needs to be taught a lesson about humility? The ego on this coaching staff is genuinely staggering. It is astronomical. It is off the charts. They are literally cutting off their own nose to spite their face. And what is the end game here? Do they honestly believe that Caitlin Clark is going to tolerate this level of disrespect for the next 3 years of her rookie contract? Do they think she's just going to silently accept being targeted by opposing players while her own coach refuses to advocate for her? She is going to demand a trade. She is going to pack her bags, take her millions of loyal fans, her massive endorsement deals, her unparalleled gravity, and she is going to go to a franchise that actually understands how to build around a superstar. A franchise that actually values winning over petty locker room politics and coaching egos. Imagine Caitlin Clark on a team with a competent front office. Imagine her on a team where the veterans actually set screens for her instead of rolling their eyes when she shoots. Imagine her with a coach who designs plays to maximize her historic shooting range instead of actively trying to limit her touches to keep the rest of the roster happy. The Indiana Fever had the ultimate lottery ticket, the greatest gift ever handed to a struggling sports franchise, and they are actively running it through a paper shredder because of pride. It is infuriating. It is mind-boggling. It is the dumbest business decision I have ever seen in my entire life. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Are you going to keep watching this team if Caitlin Clark formally forces a trade to another city? Are you going to keep supporting this poverty franchise if Stephanie White somehow stays on as head coach? Let me know right now. Flood the comments. Make your voices heard because the league is definitely watching these videos. We're doing it again, folks. We're doing it again. See you next time. And, as always, keep your eyes wide open and don't let the corporate suits play you for a fool. 1. Host with hands on head, in shock, looking directly at the camera, next to a split image of Caitlin Clark looking deeply frustrated, looking down, and Stephanie White with a smug, slight smirk, with a big red arrow pointing from White to Clark, and bold yellow text overlay reading, "She's done." 2. Host pointing